What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are on this, the 11th of April, resting at about 80.6K right now and climbing. If we look at this on a daily perspective, the question does come to mind: have we found the low? Is this the low? Do we have lower to go? And that answer might not be so cut and dry, but we're going to try to make sense out of it, okay? Now, we were anticipating a low that would take us around $74,000 to $70,000. This low here was at about 74.4K. Okay, not even actually in the upper limits of where I would expect that we would go. Continued to expect that we'd go lower here, and we didn't. We actually found a double bottom. And this to me, this look is very, very powerful. It's a very strong and good looking double bottom. Now, it is on a 4-hour basis. It's not like a super long drawn out kind of play, but that is significant enough, at least in my opinion, to not only find a relative low, but to find a low of this overall consolidation phase to the downside here. This could be the beginning of that next phase up to the upside. And what we need to see, the reason why the answer isn't so cut and dry is this the low or not? What we need to see is continuation. We have the higher low here, right? We need the higher high now. And yes, we do have a higher high and we have a higher low, but let's get one more in us. I think 88K, 86K, somewhere in that area is a very important area to watch if we're taking into consideration the relative high to low on the fibs here, Fibonacci retracement tool, from a high back on April 2nd to the low that we first had on April 7th there, not even a week later, high to low here. You've hit the golden ratio. You found resistance there. It's very common on the first attempt to do that. It's also very common when working your way higher to find support in the 0.5 to 382 area. Now, you did go a little bit below there, but that's fine. Okay, that's fine. You got right back above it in a matter of no time at all. So I think this look, as scary as it might have seemed for that 4-hour period, that wasn't really a lot of volume. It was above average volume, sure. It wasn't like insignificant volume, but relative to some of the bigger spikes in volume that we had on the buying side, I wouldn't be worried about this, especially because this got no follow through afterwards, right? And you're in the presence of this double bottom and potentially a new trend with higher lows and higher highs to come. First time that you reject the golden ratio, it's pretty expected that you'd find support in this area. If not, I mean, maybe you do go lower, and that's possible too. But the second time, this is whenever you're supposed to break through. So what we don't want to see is a double bottom that's matched with a double top. That's what we don't want to see, because if we see something like that, likely we will take out these lows, and we will see that target area of about $73,000 to $70,000, just below 74K there. But if we can get above the golden ratio, if we can close multiple 4-hour candles above about 83K there, I think we're golden. And really, 87K, 88K, these target areas I think are a little bit more significant, so closing above there would be nice to see. But technically, all we need to do at this point is get above this high. So some kind of endeavor where we move up higher, finding higher highs, higher lows, that kind of thing going on right now, that would be encouraging. And I think that we will. I think this 4-hour RSI looks very constructive, very productive. Finding support at the 50 like this, higher lows, higher highs, you seem to be in a pattern of your own or a trend of your own to the upside. If we're looking at this on a 1-hour basis, can't even get oversold. You're getting overbought, though. That's nice to see. Not a lot of volume on the downside. Not a whole lot of volume on the upside either. It kind of looks like I mean, yes, we had a lot of volume on this upside here. I just mean right now, it kind of looks like a BART pattern on the short-term time frames, right? So, and I don't know why, but yeah, we're getting that right now. If we're looking at this, shout out to Bartman Crypto on that note. If we're looking at this on a daily basis, I do expect, and I am calling for this to be the low, right? We didn't get it precisely right on the day. It took this day to convince me that that was the low, but convinced me it did, and I'm sticking with that now. Even if we're proven wrong, even if we go a little bit lower than this low, it's fine. The target area remains the same, guys. When we go to new all-time highs, the minimum stopping point is 120K. 138K. This is our first target zone, the 1272 to the 1618. When you break above 138, 139K, you are earmarked for 153 to $203,000, something in this range. I personally favor this 178K area, something right around 170 to 180K is where I think we're going to go by the end of this next move. And I think it all starts here. Okay, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're new to crypto, if you're getting into crypto, or if you're old in crypto, you've been around the block, it's a great time to buy. It's a really good time to buy. But what if it goes lower? What if it does? It's, it's the same kind of conversation I was having with XRP. What if it does? Are you worried about missing this move, or should you be worried about missing this move? You know what I mean? And that's not even the full move. The move is going to go all the way up to here. So it's insurmountable. It doesn't even come close to what you should be worrying about is the upside. So, however, with that in mind, I do believe this is the low. I like the double bottom look. To confirm that, we need to get above technically about 87K, but I'd be really comfortable with a price above 88K. Anything above 96,500 validates this low for what it is. There's no arguing it there. If you're arguing it still at that point, if we're closing days above 96.5K, you guys, and moving higher, and you're still bearish on this overall bull market in crypto, you're in denial at that point. I think that we're starting to see the forms of denial come out now, and we will continue to see them as we go higher. They'll only get louder and louder, but we'll see how it goes. I very much do believe that we're going to see new all-time highs in a very short amount of time. By the end of this month of April, in fact, we're on the 11th now, so we got about 20 days left. We just started the 11th day. About 20 days left in the month. I'm expecting that we will be at 111K new all-time highs by the end of this month. That's the month prediction. We're sticking with that from the beginning to the end, until we see something that changes our mind relative to that, But I think as of now, we're very much in a good posturing to see some explosive movements up. We saw some last time in November here. We saw some good explosive behavior coming into February, March over here, and February, or no, this is the beginning of February as well. Bitcoin can move up in a very short amount of time. It doesn't take a whole lot, and I mean it when I say we'll be at 111K by the end of April. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I think the low is in, and I think as time goes on, it'll only be more obvious. If I'm wrong, we have a few $1,000s below our current low to go, if that even, and then we'll recover in a very short amount of time in a spectacular fashion. All right, I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.